Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Lansing City Arena for tonight's Futsal Champion Series match. Lansing City welcomes Ginga FS to town in this one. I'm Jared Klepp along with Gerard Ascani. We are courtside tonight. We have the crowd, the blue court, the Lansing City Arena. We are set and ready for a great match.
Oh yeah, and let's hope we get a good one here tonight, because the first two, we saw some huge discrepancies. So let's see if we get a close one here tonight.
Yeah, if you missed those two, there was a team in each game that reached double digits, correct? I believe that was the case.
Yep.
So some big blowouts in the first two games. We'll see what happens here. Let's take a look at the starting lineup first for the home team, Lansing City. They have Castaneda in goal, Fisher, Barney, Blanco, and Espinal. Alessandro Blanco's been one of the players that we've been highlighting. Excited to see what he brings this summer. And for Ginga on the other side, Crimson in goal, Takabatake, Yahiro, Raymond, and we have one there that is missing. That one is, I believe it is Edouard Bugase is that last one to round that out. That's how the teams will be starting. Lansing City in that white and blue, going left to right on your screen. And Ginga in the Brazilian yellow and green, going right to left. Kick, and here we go.
So this is a consistent theme that we've seen from Lansing City starting back in the summer. During some of the summer tours and exhibitions, we saw Jeremy Klippel start on the bench. And in some ways, it's just given him an opportunity to read the other team and take a look and see how they're playing, how they're setting up. And then he makes an early sub and sees if he can't put some of the things that he learned into action.
Corner kick for Lansing City. Barney trying to find Beto on the far side. Espinal, number 9 for Lansing City. He's a player that we have yet to see in FCS action.
Yeah, this is the first time, and he does hail from Grand Rapids, Michigan. And you wouldn't be surprised to hear that he started playing with ABK. So we got a little Ole love here in the house. ABK is the team that Ole Futsal Club became.
Now Ginga, they have the ball here with Takabatake. They are coming off of an 8-2 victory last week at home, as Castaneda has tried early, and he's there standing tall to the challenge, and Fisher has to stop the second try.
Yeah, great work from Jack Fisher just to be in the right place to protect Ethan in goal. Ethan made a fantastic save but was out of position, but Jack saved him.
So Ginga now facing the high press of Lansing. Lansing wins it. Barney to Fisher, and now Kleppel on the court for the first time. He's got it here. Pressure from Shota Takabatake, pushing Lansing City backwards and out of bounds. Looks like we're having a disconnect with the clock that's on your screen right now. We're at 18:40 in the half, and as we work to get that sorted out, we'll just keep you updated. Lansing City to put it into play in the back. Jack Fisher looking up to Blanco in a new pivot role that we did not see him in last year. We heard from the Lansing City side that there was great improvement for Blanco over the summer, and they're excited to see what he has to bring as Kleppel puts one low into the corner. Jason Quimzon is called upon early to make a save.
And we should see Quimzon called upon a lot tonight, because Lansing City led the league in shots last year. Expect more out of him tonight too.
Kleppel takes a shot, and again, Quimzon is there. I expect to see a lot of shots from Kleppel in that area. Shitaro Matsushima now looking for a long diagonal to number 13.
Andrew Dong.
Andrew Duong.
And this is the first time we're seeing him. He actually hails from Vietnam.
So another international player joining the Ginga squad. They're definitely no stranger to that. As Kleppel gets space, and he rockets it to the top shelf. Jeremy Kleppel gets it going for Lansing City. Just a little bit of space, and it is a little bit too high and fast for Jason Quimson. That's been a question for Ginga since last year, is what their ability at the goalkeeper position was. We do not see Corey Weisenhunt, who played really good in the last game. Quinzon also was in the second half of the last game, but he wasn't really tested, and today he will be. In that one, he's unable to keep Kleppel out of the back of the net.
Yeah, there will be many questions asked of Quimzon today, so early he has shown that he's not up to the task to stop the shots that are going to come in full force. Let's see if he can do it later today.
Aaron Raymond in the back. Finds Enrico Del Rosario. And now Lansing City take over. All the way to the near side, Jack Fisher. Drew Barney working with him. Now Kleppel, 1v1 on the far side. Help coming in the middle. He finds space. Looking for Blanco on the inside. It's not there. Fisher with a slide. He keeps it in the attacking zone. Oh, he almost had it back right there. Now here is Kleppel's space on the inside. He's looking for the top corner, and it goes well wide. Quinzon to restart. He's got Takabatake. Looking to Mayasa Hata. I think it's the first time we've seen him this year as well.
It is the first time we've seen him.
Player to keep an eye on.
He as well is an international player hailing from Japan. And really, when we look at this roster, there's only one player on the entire lineup today that is from the United States.
Here on the near side, number 12, Benny Alashari. He was actually a youth player for Lansing City for a long time. He's got a chance here. Did he get it in? No. On the pass from Alec Nas. So two new names for Lansing City right there. A third one joins him, Ali Ahmed, along with David Saltzman on this line. We'll talk more about those players as the night goes on. Here is Edouard Bugase. Inside, Aaron Raymond. He's got Takabatake behind him. Raymond looking at his options. Now Bugase. Dribbling to the middle, back to Quimzon. Looking for the pivot, number 7. Masaya Hata, and it rolls under his foot. Restart coming from Castaneda. You know, we talked about for Lansing City in preview of their season how they had the addition of Josh Pierce. Perhaps that would help solve some of their mistakes they've had in goal in the past. He is not rostered tonight. Ethan Castaneda, and his backup is Conrad Gonzalez. Now Bugase across the half line, faced up by Nas. Shot, Castaneda meets it, preventing the follow-up from Masaya Hata. Now into Alec Nas, strong big pivot. He's gonna receive a foul there. Couple will be lining up for a free kick here. Ali Ahmed, number 4, right here to the near side. Couple with a strike right at the wall. Says if you want to get in front of that, have fun. Corner coming from Ali Ahmed now. Long diagonal to Kleppel off the half volley. It's well wide.
Not the first time we've seen that play. Ginga looked like they were expecting it too. Multiple bodies in the way between Kleppel and the goal. It's one of the things Ginga is known for, especially when they play Lansing City, just packing in the penalty area.
That one thrown into the goal from the goalkeeper. No touch, surely. What's going on here? The officials are sorting it out as we see the replay. Trying to decide. And hey, guess what? The officials looked at the replay on the Jumbotron and said, that's no goal.
Yeah,
the first instance of unofficial official replay.
They can't use the Jumbotron because it's not official.
They absolutely can. Everybody saw it and said, that's no goal. Everybody said, no way. No, I understand what you're saying, but hey, they were talking about it. The replay was going.
I think they talked about it and they got it right. I think there was some confusion over whether or not a player touched it before.
Yes, that was absolutely the call as Saltzman goes down.
I was a little surprised, though, that we didn't see a foul call on Ethan Castaneda because it did look like he pushed Andrew Dong in the back.
Roger Straz to put this one in play for Ginga. Takabarake now to the near side. Tsubasa Yahiro, one of the new names for Ginga we saw last week. Gives it away to Fisher. Fisher going up the court with pace, his strike. And Quimzant with the touch puts it over the bar. Lansing City back to their starting lineup with the addition of Kleppel as they take this corner. Fisher puts it in, looking for Drew Barney. He sends it sailing into the net, but the wrong net. Jason Quimson puts it back into play, goes short. Takabarake working with Aaron Raymond. Yahiro is with them in the back. High pressure from Lansing City. Kleppel decides it's time to go. Puts pressure on. And Ginga are still locked in their own zone. Matsushima comes off the bench, mishandles the ball. He's going to end up putting it into touch. And Lansing City will have an opportunity deep in Ginga territory. Ball up to the Fixo. Blanco. Now Kleppel. Kleppel inside, has a double team slide from Andrew Duong. And Ginga will get possession.
A strong tackle from Duong, showing not only is he going to be a force on the offensive end, but he's committed defensively as well.
Matsushima looking to play into the pivot spot. Jack Fisher takes it away. Can he finish? Just wide. As Jason Quimson was coming out to meet him.
Careless ball keeping right there from Andrew Duong. Looks like he needs a sub. Give himself a quick breather. He just lost possession of that ball. Was easily dispossessed by Jack Fisher.
Quimson puts it back into play. Matsushima in the Fixo spot. Finds Raymond on the side. Raymond to the center. Barney follows him, pokes it out. Ginga will restart. Takabarake back onto the court. And up top, Ryusuke Kojima for Ginga, who we did not see in the previous match, but we did see last year. Blanco all but pulls down Takabarake. No call from the ref. Trying to get by Kleppel was number 11, Enrico Del Rosario. And that play is going to end up with a kick in for Lansing City.
You know, we talked earlier today about the gaps in transition and recovery when you switch from offense to defense. And Jack Fisher right there put an incredible display of what it should look like when you move from offense to defense.
Kleppel finds space, and it's there for him on the inside once again. Jeremy Kleppel.
Yeah, and this is a stark contrast to how we saw Ginga play last year. I mean, they have bodies all in the middle, and they're all sliding too. It's almost as if they make a path for Kleppel to just shoot it right through them.
Lansing City now up 2 with 14 minutes to go in the first half. Both in similar fashion. This time they're high press, providing an opportunity. Ali Ahmed, can Barney get there? It's a good ball across. Now back. Ali Ahmed on the far side. What can he do? Good defending from Shota Takabarake. Ali Ahmed about to put this one back in for Lansing City. He was also a Lansing City Academy player and has not been with the Lansing City brand for a bit of time and now has returned this season. A couple of players with that same story. We saw earlier Benny Alashari. We'll see him on the court again today, I'm sure. here is Ahmed. Bringing the ball into the attacking half. Now Barney under heavy pressure by Raymond. Raymond forces the turnover. Now back into the match, Edwald Bugase, one of the starters for Ginga, looking up the line, makes the connection at first. Fisher thought he defended it off of Masaya Hata, but Ginga retained possession. Takabatake to Raymond. Bugase, and it rolls under his foot. Lansing City take over. Up on the far side, he gets by Bugase. A little shove. And corner called.
It looks like we got a. Is it not a foul?
I think they're calling. I believe they just called a corner. No foul on that play. Chip comes to Kleppel off the first time. Way, way, way too high.
Yeah, and like we saw in the last corner, the cross to the volley is a patented Lansing City play. They do it often. Ginga's once again ready.
Crimson goes short. Possession in the back for Ginga now. A chip just to relieve the pressure. Takabatake giving it back away to Lansing City, and we'll see a full line substitution. Benny Alashari, David Saltzman, Alec Nas, and pretty soon Ali Ahmed. In the court for Ginga, Bugase, Straz, Yahiro, and Takabatake. Here is Saltzman. Down the line to Alashari, to Kleppel. Couple push down. Got some confrontation going on in the middle of the court between Kleppel, Straz, number 14 Bugase, who did get whistled for the foul. I think Bugase was upset at some play after the ball as Kleppel's foot came up. So that'll be Ginga's second foul. Kleppel stands over it, takes a shot off the post. Nas is there, can't put it in. A break for Ginga, no. And now Nas, possibly the biggest, tallest body in the FCS now. And Saltzman down the line, unable to keep control of it. And we have timeout for Ginga. Taken here with 12:10 to go. And I'm sure, Gerard, you got some things to say.
Lots, before we do,
let's take a look at our sponsor for today's match. Today's match is brought to you by Ally Marketing, who is the official marketing partner of the Futsal Champion Series. If you're looking for a marketing partner, check out allymarketing.us, A-L-L-Y marketing.us. It's a marketing business that feels more like a friend. Ally Marketing is the official marketing partner of the Futsal Champion Series.
Well, speaking of friends, there's not a lot of friendly behavior between Ginga and Lansing City. When we look at the last few matchups, it has been tense, to say the least. There's a lot of physicality. We've seen a lot of yellow cards, a lot of fouls, just a lot of frustration. And you're seeing it pop out right away here today. Ewald Bugase's new to Ginga, but he's not new to this relationship between these two teams. They go at it hard, and it's one of the things that really makes futsal such an attractive sport, because these players put it all on the line, and they're giving everything that they have. And it looks like Ewald Bugase is going to take a breather and sit on the bench, as is Jeremy Kleppel, to let cooler heads prevail.
Play will restart through the hands of Quimson. He goes long. Saltzman heads it out. And Andrew Duong was there, and he'll take the kicking for Ginga. Ball into Del Rosario through Matsushima, back to him. He's working with Raymond on the side. All the way back to Quimson they go. Being patient in possession is Ginga, and they eventually kick it out. Lansing City will have a kick in right around the halfway line. Ball into Saltzman, trying to carry it with him. He loses it. But so does Raymond. Back to Lansing City it goes. Saltzman puts it in. Ahmed has it on the far side. 1v1. Help coming from the middle. He faces that help. Castaneda must come up. He actually misses the touch, I think, but Saltzman was there. That could have turned sour for
that would have been
Lansing
bad
City.
really quick. Saltzman was able to save that with a great recovery.
Here's Matsushima. Del Rosario coming back from the pivot spot, chooses to go there. He hits the ground, no call. Now Saltzman fighting for possession. Espinal to put it in. Now Ali Ahmed on the far side. Defended well there by Del Rosario. Here is Ahmed now looking in the direction of Alec Nas. Number 24 for Lansing City, but it goes what's too far. Number 24, Alec Nas, is one of the players for Lansing City that is new. He has he has loads of soccer experience.
He actually played professionally in Germany for a season.
So he is also kind of on that international list as far as experience goes. And he is one of the players that we talked about in preview of Lansing City. Excited to see what he might bring to the floor. Takabatake has a shot, and it's blocked by Nas right there. Here is Raymond working with Takabatake. And now far side, Duong. Into the pivot spot he goes. Hato is there, still fighting for it. Fisher puts it out of bounds. Back to Takabatake to the go, and he sends it over the bar. Restart coming from Castaneda. Couple now walking it across the half line. Finds Espinal. Touch inside. Alessandro Blanco was there, tried to get a touch on it, but so were two Ginga defenders. Espinal to the middle again. Quimzon gets a foot on it. Now a corner. To the top. Oh, Fisher wanted to play it on for Kleppel. Not on the same page, but he collects it. And now he's got a 1v1. Help coming. Aaron Raymond with the block. Just under 10 minutes to go here at the Lansing City Arena. Lansing City with a 2-goal advantage. They have possession here in the back. Kleppel takes a shot. It's well wide. We'll have a restart coming from Quimson. Long distribution. Stolen by Lansing City. Now Fisher. Dribbles into two defenders. Kleppel just has to kick it out. It does take a deflection. So they keep possession. Here's Fisher. Slide from Straz. He gets by him looking towards the middle. Finding Barney up back towards the arc. And his toe poke goes all over, and it will be a restart. Quimson goes long over the head of Bugase. Castaneda will see it out. Here's Drew Barney. No more yellow banana shoes, by the way.
No more yellow banana.
Maybe
they do have a yellow sole on.
They do have a yellow sole.
See if they stay on his feet better. So if you don't remember, last year, Drew Barney was notorious for leaving his shoes all over the floor.
It was like 2 or 3 games. And it was like to the point where one time it was one foot, the other foot, like both feet didn't have shoes on. Anyways, here is Kleppel going down the sideline, still staying with it. And it's going to be a corner for them.
I don't think he ever scored without the shoes on, but he always kept playing.
He did. He did his best to keep going until there was a stoppage. Corner now from Jack Fisher. 4 Ginga defenders in tight. Blanco to the middle. He was wide open, and it just missed him. Had he got a touch, that would have been an easy goal number 3. Had he put it anywhere on frame outside of the physical space Crimson was taking up.
Lansing had played those cross volleys off of those set pieces the last couple of corners and caught Ginga off guard with a nice pass across the middle. Blanco was wide open in the penalty area, but just was unable to connect with the pass.
Shot now from Fisher goes wide. Close enough for Crimson to have a dive outside of his stretched arm, so he'll go into the bleachers to fish it out.
You know, speaking of Crimson, he lost his shoe last game.
He did. Yeah, so far we have not had a weekend yet in this FCS where someone has not lost their shoe. But if someone does not lose their shoe today, then that 1 week streak.
The 1 week streak.
Ginga now with the corner, Aaron Raymond. He's got Takabatake up top, Bugase on the far side, and in the middle, Yahiro. It comes back to Takabatake. Now Bugase. Looking for a long one. It's too much, too fast for Aaron Raymond.
It'll be interesting to see Drew Barney go up against Jason Crimson today. It'll be dubbed the shoeless battle.
Whistle from the official. Looks like he just needed to bump his position back just a bit. Alashari puts it back into play, looking for Nas, the first touch. It's not where he wanted to be, and Ginga now have it. Chip to Yahiro. Ahmed is fighting for it, and he's able to clear it away right behind the stands.
Speaking of some of the Lansing City players, they said that the talent of Alec Nas is incredible, and it's just a matter of time before he's able to translate the outdoor skill to the futsal game, as this is his first time playing competitive futsal.
He was only training with the team for a short period of time, right?
Yep. Yeah, it's only been just over a month or so. He came out for the open tryout and made the team through the open tryout.
Meanwhile, Ginga about to put it into play in the attacking half. They put it across the face of goal. Wow, Yahiro doesn't know how he didn't will that one into the back of the net.
It almost seemed like Shota was celebrating as if it went in.
Corner kick again, Bugase. Alashari faces him up. Back to Takabatake. Raymond now. And Yahiro going down the end line. Castaneda comes out. You talk about Takabatake celebrating. That's something he loves to do.
He loves to do it. I was literally thinking the same thing, is you don't need to give him a reason to celebrate. He just loves life.
We saw him after he scored a goal, high-fiving a bunch of the fans in Ginga last weekend. How fun was that?
And for me, I think that's a big part when I talk about him being a potential superstar in the FCS. It's not just his talent on the floor, but it's really how he engages the audience, not only at home, but at the arena as well.
A couple changes for Ginga. Matsushima on the floor, as well as Duong. They're forced to go back to Crimson. Puts it up in the direction of Yahiro. Gets by Saltzman, gets by Castaneda. And that brings us to timeout called by Ginga. Well, I thought Lansing City called the first one, so I think...
yeah, Ginga called the first timeout.
Ginga called the first one. Okay, so Lansing City calls a timeout this time. And if you're enjoying the game, we hope that you will join us also for the third half. Every Thursday at 8 p.m., we jump on the YouTube Live podcast and talk about all things that are going on in the league. We'll have so far 2 games that were absolute blowouts. Well, actually, I shouldn't say absolute blowouts. The second game seemed to be more of a blow-up from start to finish. The first game was actually close for a while. But we'll have a lot to talk about this coming Thursday. It's every Thursday at 8 p.m. Check out the third half only on the FCS Live YouTube channel. Lansing City making a couple changes here. On the floor for them, Beto Espinal, David Saltzman, Ali Ahmed, and Alec Nas up top in a 3-1. And Ginga remain unchanged. Except Del Rosario is now on the floor. Castaneda goes long to Nas. Traps it right at his foot, holding up play. Keeps it, and the turn. And if it wasn't for Raymond on the slide.
And Lansing does win a corner. That's a little bit of the skill that we were talking about right there. You see from Alec Nas. Those are some skills right there that easily translate from the outdoor game of football.
It's the ability to hold up play is huge for a pivot. And a player of his stature and his experience, he showed he was able to do it in that case. Timbalow across the court. He does find Ahmed. Ahmed trying to go down the sideline, but Duong says, I don't think so. Now it's been out to Saltzman. Saltzman thought he had Timbalow not on the same page. Matsushima working with Raymond. Any counterattacking opportunity quickly squashed by Lansing City. Raymond left it, but there was no one to leave it to. You can tell the pace of play when Ginga had the ball right there. Lansing City was really accelerating it. And that's something they talk about all the time. Yeah, they talk about that a lot. Because what it really does is when you have players, it just puts pressure on players, and it shows what their ability and their technical ability is if you put that pressure to accelerate the game. And that's essentially what teams are doing and anytime they're high pressing is they're trying to accelerate the game. But I think it's something that's becoming and has been kind of clear this half is that when Ginga has the ball, there's these times where you can tell they almost seem frantic with it. And I think it's because of that pressure from Lansing City. Yeah,
one of the things Lansing City does is they wait. They don't just press or high press or accelerate the game all of the time. They look for moments, and they're really looking for weaknesses and when Ginga's handling the ball, whether it's a right footer having the ball on their left foot or eliminating areas of the court. And so that's one of the things to look at when you watch Lansing City is look at when they choose to accelerate the game, when they choose to apply that pressure.
Espinal faces up. Del Rosario puts it into the bleachers. Kick in coming for Lansing City. They go quick. 3-1 for Lansing City. Blanco in the pivot spot. Espinal, Fisher, Ahmed, the other three. Ginga locked into defense here. Ball inside. Espinal is able to take it. Finds Ahmed, and Ahmed puts it away.
It was Sandro Blanco in the middle right there in the penalty area. Talk about the hold-up play. We saw some of it from Alec Nas earlier, but that was such a beautiful example of what it looks like to handle a hot pass, maintain your composure on the ball, and then distribute accordingly. Fantastic effort by Sandro Blanco there in the middle, and then to lay it off to Ali Ahmed.
And really, that was a very savable shot. And looking at the replay, it looked like it went through the 5-hole of Quimson. I can't say that for certain, but it appeared that way. Just kind of looked like he was a little late in his reaction.
Yeah, he was definitely anticipating a shot from Sandro Blanco, and Blanco was able to read it appropriately and make the distribution.
Defense from Ahmed, sliding against Takabatake, and his efforts result in a corner. Ryusuke Kojima on the floor. Roger Straz. Isaiah Hata along with Takabatake now for Ginga. Ball inside. Goes all the way to Castaneda. And now Lansing City on the transition. Espinal still has it. Looking for a Meg. He got it, but didn't get it on the other side. And now Straz takes it up. Looking for Kojima, and here comes Castaneda. And thank you, Mr. Official on our side, for saving us. That ball was coming right for us.
Yeah, it was coming right for all the equipment. And that really is a great call to Castaneda. That's one of the things that he does the best. That's the strongest aspect of his game, is understanding when to come out and to attack the ball and really stop the attack before it even has a chance to start.
Lansing City on defense, able to take it away, and it quickly goes back, and Straz puts it out of play. Barney to put it back into play as Lansing City return to their starting 3 plus Jeremy Kleppel. He has it here. Kojima facing him up. Barney calling for it on the near side, gets it to him. He's got lots of space, a 3v2. Players down, and Barney hits it way wide. But he had lots of space as the Ginga players were sliding left and right.
Yeah, his first feint was able to get Roger Straz to commit to the ground. And it's one of the things that we know, and we've talked about what Ginga does. Their strategy is to put bodies in front of goal. As Jack Fisher wins the ball right here, distributes to Jeremy Kleppel.
Here's Barney facing up. He goes back to Kleppel on the far side. Bugase gets beat down the sideline, inside to Blanco. A little bit behind him. Actually bounced off of a Ginga defender. It will be a Lansing City kick-in.
And like I was saying earlier, Drew Barney was able to create that space and get Roger Straz diving because he understands how Ginga plays defense. So look for that continue to be exploited.
Shot from Barney hits the sliding Straz. Might have got him in the hands, but maybe like elbow area.
You know, if we're going to add any stats to the season, we need to add the stat for how many times Ginga hits the ground.
Ball inside off the corner. Lansing City have gotten opportunities off corner kicks.
Yeah, had a couple
like
of chip
inside.
shots. Yeah, penalty area. Blanco was in there, just missed it.
That's like the number one thing on defense that you do not want to allow is a chance on the inside.
Yeah,
as Fisher had a chance there. Yeah, near post. Quimzon with the kick save. Another corner for Lansing. Inside again. Takabatake said no that time.
Yeah, Takabatake recognized what Blanco was doing, and he cut off that middle run.
Takabatake has it here. Now to Bugase. He's got Hata on this side. He wants him to go down the line. And now switches the point of attack. Inside goes Straz. Lansing City have it now. While bouncing around, it's going to end up in the hands of Castaneda. And quickly back out to Barney. And Ginga drop back to defend in their own half. Now Kleppel and Barney working together. Missed touch from Barney, he loses it. Ginga take over. Jack Fisher steps up and wins the ball. His chance goes well wide.
Transition. I mean, that's one of the things we talk about, how fast the game changes. So Jack Fisher wins the ball, and in less than a second, he's already taken a shot on goal.
A couple substitutes for Lansing. Nas comes in, Saltzman comes in. Here's Aaron Raymond. His try well wide of the near post. Castaneda restarts short to Kleppel. Kleppel with a strike, and Nas with the finish. How did he know?
How did he know? That was a fortuitous bounce for Alec Nas.
He just got his body in the way after that.
Yep. He was able to find the right spot. I mean, it's really a lucky opportunity. It's a fortuitous bounce.
But he's there.
He is there. He's in the right spot. You know, we say the first shot is on the goalie. The second shot's on the defense. The defense was not around.
Yeah.
He was able to be there in the middle of the penalty area all by himself.
So Quimzon takes care of the first one, but Nas in the follow-up, right place, right time. Exceptionally right place, right time. I mean, bounced right off him.
Yeah.
And finds the back of the net to give Lansing City the 4-0 lead here at home. That shot from Matsushima
hit Alec Nas again.
It did.
This time it did not go into a goal.
No, but that was going to the side net, and that's one of those that's tricky because it got by a couple of players, and as a goalkeeper, your vision is really blocked. So if that had gone back past Nas, it would have been tough.
It's another benefit to having Nas on the court. He's a big body.
Ginga now in a high press. What will Lansing City do? Ali Ahmed up the floor to Nas. Just Quimzon to beat. He puts it to the far post, but it was Espinal who was on the far backside trying to get there.
Yeah, really good idea right there from Alec Nas. Just you have to trust your teammates to make that back post run. Espinal is just a little slow getting there.
Now Ginga working it up the court. Raymond and Matsushima 1-2. too far, and Saltzman kicks it out. Ginga now with a kick in deep in Lansing City territory. Raymond with the shot. Castaneda's there. Right back to Matsushima. Once again, Yahiro trying to turn. But all the way almost into their own corner. 1:43 left in the first. Clock in the arena, just a bit different from our clock here on stream. Matsushima again working with Raymond. Fisher steps up and wins it. A 2v2 with one trailing for Ginga. Has a shot, it goes wide. Crimson goes short. Ugase. Back to Matsushima, trying to relieve pressure to the pivot spot. Matsushima hits the floor. And this one rolls out of bounds in favor of Lansing City. Kleppel puts it into play. Castaneda gives it right back. Kleppel to Barney. Barney inside. All the way to the other side. Back to Kleppel. And a touch on the poke from Yahiro. Kleppel puts it into play, finds Blanco. He's got Fisher inside, decides to go backwards. Raymond comes up. Fisher colliding with Ugase. He gets it back.
Fisher's relentless.
On a foul, they're not going to get one. Barney now turns. Ugase with a slide. We're going to get an accumulated foul after this play. Now a 1v1. Barney forced backwards. And that is 4 zeros on the game clock. And there was actually 2 accumulated fouls in that last play as we wrapped up. And Lansing City going into the locker room with a 4-0 lead. Very interesting, when we were previewing this game, we knew that Lansing City wouldn't have the likes of Luciano Cernudo, who played a big role in their team last year. But the team that we're seeing tonight, there's enough new pieces for Lansing City that we are getting a new feel from them in some of their lines.
Yeah, we are. It's one of the things, we saw Alessandro Blanco a little bit last season, but he was really integrating into the team, so we didn't get to see him play a lot, and we definitely did not see him play much at all with Jeremy Kleppel in that first line with Drew Barney and Jack Fisher. And so seeing the way he integrated into the first line tonight, you can see the element that he brings to the table. He's very strong on the ball, very composed. And you add that element, somebody else that's really comfortable and composed on the ball onto that first line with Jeremy Kleppel, Drew Barney, and Jack Fisher, and it really is a recipe for disaster for Ginga tonight.
And for Ginga, they are trailing by 4, and they have some work to do to get back into this one, as they really didn't find a lot of positive possession or positive opportunity. A couple. Castaneda came up big in a couple moments. that was one thing that we saw when they would go on the road. Not only did they sometimes were missing some players, but even when they had some of their key players, they had Costa Wells, they had Davide De Poche, when they went on the road, and it wasn't a close game.
I want to say that I could see them winning it all and advancing far in the playoffs, but I think the bold prediction is that they're going to miss out on the playoffs.
I would agree with that statement.
Welcome to the Ally Marketing Halftime Show. Ally Marketing, let's be friends.
Welcome everyone to the Ally Marketing Halftime Show. We're here in the Lansing City Arena for today's FCS match between Lansing City and Ginga. At the half, Lansing City leads 4-0. Gerard, what were your thoughts on that first half?
You know, we knew it was going to be a big challenge for Ginga coming on the road. Last year, they lost every road game except when they played Midwest FC, and every team demolished Midwest FC. So we expected it to be a tough challenge for them. And Lansing City is showing that they're up for the test tonight. They're showing that they've added some new players to their roster. They've integrated them well, and they're playing at a really high level.
So we know Ginga are tested on the road. We talked about that several times, that they did not have a great road record last year. So they're being tested once again here in the Lansing City Arena.
What's really surprising, part of the reason they didn't have a good road record last season was because of roster availability. Tonight, they have most of their strongest players. And so when you think about the roster strength that they have tonight, I would have anticipated them playing a little bit tighter with Lansing City. We'll see if they turn it around in the second half, but it's not looking too good for them right now.
For Lansing City, we have the normal players that you would think of, Jeremy Kleppel, Drew Barney, Jack Fisher. And I think, Drew Barney and Jack Fisher have been playing really well tonight. They've been playing at pace. Alessandro Blanco has looked better than he ever has, and I think it's true that he has improved over the summer. And, Ginga isn't the strongest team in the FCS, so we'll have to see how that continues. But how about some of these new players providing strength to that second line? Ali Ahmed, Alec Nas, Benny Alishari.
One of the biggest things last season when Drew Barney and Jack Fisher weren't able to show up for a game, or when Jeremy Kleppel took a rest, you saw a huge drop-off in talent, and we're not really seeing that huge drop-off in talent. They're able to we got a second line, sometimes we've even seen a third line come in and really bring forth a lot of energy and effort into this game.
So excited to see what happens for half number 2. Both teams out on the court now, so we'll take you back there as we prepare for kickoff. Lansing City with that 4-goal advantage. And starting for them, it looks like it's going to be Fisher, Barney, Espinal, and Blanco. That's how we began. That's how they began
the first half.
And then for Ginga, they will start how they started as well. Bugase, Raymond, Takabatake, and Yahiro, as well as Quimzon in net. So here we go, getting ready for half number 2. Still looking for the game ball. Looks like the official on the far side has it. Key to success for Ginga this half, I think they need to defend the counterattack. I think they need to counterattack. They need to kind of pack it in and defend and block Lansing City's chances and get a counter. And for Lansing City, I think they need to continue to put the pressure on. They've had a lot of chances. And they've been playing at a high pace. Ball through to Bugase, and Castaneda's going to watch this one over the end line. He'll have a restart. Now Jack Fisher working with Jeremy Kleppel already on the floor. About 30 seconds in. He's got Blanco on the right. He chooses to go down the line. Takabatake's there. Ginga the other way. And Castaneda has to make a save. Can he make another one? He does on the follow-up from Shota Takabatake.
Castaneda is quietly having a stellar game. That's his 8th save of the match.
Corner up coming for Aaron Raymond and Ginga. Currently on count number 3, gets it away. Bugase with the strike. And Takabatake is able to collect the deflection. And Ginga open up the score line here in the second half.
You know, we were just talking about Castaneda having a pretty strong game quietly. Well, That was gone. He had a save, but he wasn't able to maintain possession on the save. It's one of the things we talked about. Really what makes Emerson Mena such a great goalie is the ability to make the save and maintain possession, as Kleppel gets us able to maintain possession here with a little pressure on him.
So Ginga now cut the lead to 3 early in the second half. We'll see if Ginga can utilize that goal, maybe gain some momentum to try to cut back into this lead. So we see many comebacks scored in chunks. We saw Shoreline do that last week. So they were down by as many as 4, not once but twice, to Midwest United. Ended up tying that game 6-6. They actually had the lead with 30 seconds to go. An unfortunate deflection brought Midwest back to the drawing score.
And momentum is such a central figure in the importance of winning or losing a futsal match.
Drew Barney now working with Jeremy Kleppel. Kleppel faced up by Del Rosario. Has a shot. Actually bounces off of Jack Fisher in the middle. He was in the middle with Blanco. And now Drew Barney has it. All the way to Kleppel. Kleppel goes down the sideline. Strads on the second defender and wins the kick-in for Ginga. Chip down the sideline. Matsushima tried to find Straz, but it's out of play. Benny Alashari entering the game. Oh, this one gets all the way through to Jack Fisher. Can he put it away? He does, and Lansing City get that one back.
What a phenomenal effort right there from Jack Fisher to just not give up on the play. Jason Clemson had a chance at the ball, but Jack Fisher was not letting that go by without giving every effort on it. You can see Clemson almost gets his fingertips on it as Jack Fisher steals it out of his grasp.
You saw Roger Straz there on the replay throwing his hands up in the air, frustrated by that goal that Ginga provided for Lansing City by losing it in the back.
It's just one of those plays. It's who wants it more, and Jack Fisher clearly wanted it more than Jason Clemson.
Couple fighting through and forces Clemson to take it in his hands. Raymond now with it to Kojima and a sliding. Fisher keeps it in play, actually. Now here is Raymond. To Fisher. Raymond to Fisher. That's not exactly how it happened, but
I don't think that's how they
what
planned
happened.
It. It's not how they drew it up.
Now inside, a nice leave for Fisher, trying to find Blanco at the back post, and Crimson is there. Oh, Fisher again on the counter. He slots it into the back of the net. Once again, Jack Fisher.
And again, it's the same thing. He just wanted it more. Aaron Rahman was there, ready for the ball, but Jack Fisher beat it to him. And you know what? If you're going to wait for the ball to come to you, Jack Fisher's not waiting. He's going and getting it.
So now Lansing City with a 6-1 lead. Alec Nass taking the ball away. He has a shot. Quimson blocks it off Raymond, and he collects. Up the floor to do Bugase. Now back to Takabatake. Now Ahmed sees that one with Yahiro roll over the end line. Castaneda plays the Saltzman. Now Lashari on the far side. Looking up to Nas, the diagonal just across half. Connection not quite there, and Takabatake will put it back into play. So after Ginga getting first blood in this half. Lansing City have answered with 2 goals of their own. Saltzman bumped off the ball in a hard collision with Bugase.
We say Lansing City, you know, we see a lot of creative play out of them, but those were 2 plays that Jack Fisher really created out of nothing.
He put the pressure on Ginga and forced turnovers in the backcourt. And those were actually ways that Lansing City was getting scored on last year. And this time, Fisher does it to Ginga. We have a deflection for a corner, I believe we do, as Jonah Timblow runs onto the court for Lansing. Ball comes inside to him. It makes it to his foot. Lost it for a second. He's got it again. He goes back to Ahmed. Straz defending, and he pokes it away. Saltzman at the half line. Back to Ahmed. Straz going to the ground early. Timblow getting grabbed. See a hand come across his chest. Not uncommon for there to be physical play between a pivot and a fixo like that. Beto Espinal, a little flick down to Ali Ahmed. Can he head it back to him? Cleared away by the Ginga defense. And that almost takes out one of our fans. He was protected, though. Well done by the anonymous cameraman. Down the line goes Espinal to Timblow. Timblow tries to turn. Takabarake thought it should have been his ball, but not according to the man in green. The one whose opinion matters in this case. Oh, Ahmed with a bad giveaway. Straz, 1v keeper, hands up for Castaneda. He's able to get it. Straz gives him a little high five, says, nice save, man.
Yeah, strong effort from Castaneda right there. 1v keeper situations often end in a goal, but Castaneda was up to the test right there.
Kicking just up from the corner spot for Ginga. Messiah Hata to take it. Takabarake replaces him and kicks it right off him. That ball goes in the middle. Blanco takes care of it, and now Lansing City had a break for a moment.
You have to wonder if they had an argument before the game, because that looked intentional from Shota.
Yeah. It took me a second to figure out what you were saying.
A little stinger in the backside.
Here's Hata. Bugase knocked off the ball by Saltzman. Saltzman has it here. The 2 number 10s facing up. Ball into Blanco just outside of his reach. And Ginga are going to make three changes there, I believe. Aaron Raymond Matsushima. And up top here he is, Andrew Duong. Tried to turn with that one, but it goes over the end line. Castaneda will restart. Drew Barney with loads of space on the far side. Able to carry it across half. Left foot strike to the near post, and Quimzon was there. They gave him so much space on that.
They did.
He just came right up, and number 7, Messiah Hata, maybe was getting a little winded. So he just kind of let him have his way.
It was one of the things we saw a lot out of Ginga last year was really, really low press and just hang back and drop into the penalty area. Let's see if they maybe use that same type of tactic here, try to pack it in.
Ball into the pivot spot for Ginga right back. Matsushima looking down the line, connects with Duong. And now Blanco gets taken out from behind, no call. He quickly gets back in position. Matsushima all the way back to Quimzon. He's only got 4 seconds to play the ball in his half. Just barely missed that 4 count.
Yeah, he was on 3.5.
Yeah, he was playing it as the 4 was swinging from the referee. I saw it. You get the full swing.
Playing it dangerously.
And then the whistle blows. So if that's how the count goes. Ginga facing the pressure all the way through to Duong, but he was not in step. And it goes out for a restart. Fisher up to Blanco. Blanco able to turn, finds Klepp on the inside. Wow! Slicing and dicing. What a ball from Blanco to set up Kleppel to get their 7th goal. You can see them celebrating there.
And, you know, we're so used to seeing Kleppel have rockets blasted from deep. What a great display of technical skill right there, just around the keeper and get Quimzon on his butt.
Just totally set up by this ball from Blanco to split the defense. Great ball there from Blanco. So he picks up an assist. Shot from Kleppel goes wide.
And that's the power we were talking about. That's what you're used to seeing, but it's nice to see him get a cheeky goal every now and then.
Long distribution. Fisher heads it away, but Ginga have it back. Fisher takes it back. He's got Barney on the left side. Gets around the first one. The second one can't put it to the near post. That's the 3rd time Fisher has had an opportunity like that. Just his defense turning into offense in the transition.
Absolutely. And he is hungry for a hat trick. He saw Jeremy Kleppel get his hat trick, and Jack Fisher wants to match those stats.
Kleppel leaves it for Saltzman going the other way. A little bit of space for him. Faced up by Yahiro. Yahiro steps in, misses. And now Ahmed. Ahmed gets Kojima on the floor. Stepping from Yahiro, keeps it. Now to the other side for Alishari. Inside to Nas, a little touch. Not enough strength to challenge Quimson. Takabatake now in the back with Raymond. Coming back to help them is Yahiro. Kojima up the floor in the pivot spot. A soft press here from Lansing City. Ginga make a change on the fly. Straz into the game. Yahiro against Saltzman, and that one didn't miss the back post by much. And had Kojima read that correctly, he would have been in position for a touch-in.
Yeah, it was really excellent placement on the shot, just to put it a little wide, anticipating your teammate to make the back post run, but Kojima was not able to be successfully in place for that position.
Castaneda direct up the floor. Takabatake got pulled down, no call. Lugase with it, and he goes down. He wants a call, not going to get it on the pressure from Alec Nas. Essentially a corner here for Ginga. Lugase puts it in. And now a 5th attacker on the floor for Ginga. Didn't expect to see that, but they are down 6 with 11 to go. So Aaron Raymond puts on the pink. That jersey was made for him too.
That was, yeah.
That's a number 8 pink jersey. And he is the 5th attacker for Ginga as they try to find a pathway back into this game, trailing 6.
And that is part of the strategy. Satoru Matsushima talk about Aaron Rahman being a 3rd-choice goalkeeper when needed, and part of the idea and the reasoning behind that is that he could be a 5th attacker as well as a proficient goalkeeper.
It looks like they are in no rush to continually swap keepers, as Takabatake has one that goes wide. Sometimes in this scenario, you had the goalkeeper ready to come back on the floor, and they are not interested in doing that. This is
part of that strategy, yeah, with Aaron Rahman specifically. They're working with him, actively training him to be a goalkeeper for situations like this.
Beto Espinal gets by Straz. Trying to get by Takabatake, and his progress impeded and a foul whistled against Ginga. So now it will essentially be a kick-in. Jack Fisher lines up. Saltzman, Espinal, and Kleppel on the court with him. Look for Espinal to come through the middle here, number 9. And Kleppel to come to the top of the arc. Not quite how I thought that would go, but I didn't see exactly what happened there. Was that a – oh, it just went out for a corner.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Out for a corner. Oh, seemed like it was some like stern words, but like usually that's like two players doing something, but something about the goal and one of the Ginga players touching the goal, I think, is that corner does not go how Lansing drew it up. Now here's Raymond. He's up the floor across half as a fifth attacker. He's got it here. Bugase into Takabatake. His shot deflected, was going over the bar, and it almost came down and found nylon. Oh, this pass from the corners right to Timblo, and Raymond pokes it away. Fighting for it, Saltzman, Straz. Eventually, Takabatake gets it as he brings it across half. Here's Hata, back to Bugase. To Takabatake. Raymond on the far side, Ginga in the 5-attacker form. We see a timeout called by Lansing City, assumedly to set up the organization of the defending this fifth attacker. This is part of what we're going to see all game long. You see him there, number 8, Aaron Raymond. Before we talk about him very quickly, Ally Marketing is our sponsor for today's match. They are the official marketing partner of the Futsal Champion Series. If you're looking for a marketing business that feels more like a friend, check out allymarketing.us. Ally Marketing, let's be friends. So you talked about it. Satoru Matsushima, part of their strategy. Here is Aaron Raymond, third-string goalkeeper, and coming in to play as a fifth attacker in a situation like this.
Yeah, it's one of the things that Ginga has had to develop because they have roster availability concerns, specifically when they travel on the road. Luckily, they were able to have Jason Clemson in goal tonight, but they wanted obviously get some opportunity for Aaron Raymond, especially because he is a field player. He is stronger on the ball. He was one of their starters, and when you take someone like that on the ball and put them in goal, if they're able to be proficient in goal, then now you get a leg up on the offensive end, and that's what they need, some type of spark, because right now what they're doing is not working. They're still down by 6 goals, only 9.5 minutes left. Let's see if he can be the spark that they need.
So play will restart with Ethan Castaneda. Kleppel set to receive the short one, and Castaneda goes long instead. Alec Noss holding it up. Timblo with him. He keeps it back to Kleppel, and now switching the side of attack is Saltzman. Loses it for a minute, fighting back. Straz goes down, no call. And Aaron Raymond now with it at his foot. He advances up the floor. And Ginga set up their 5-attacker set. Lansing City countering with a diamond zone defense. Here is Raymond. Straz in the middle, trying to find an opening. Raymond to Matsushima, quickly to Bugase. Nas steps up, the follow. Timblo's there. Castaneda keeps it from going out. Castaneda goes long, finds Nas. Timblo's there, strike. Collides with Matsushima. And deflection is called. Corner kick coming up for Lansing.
And this is an interesting line that Lansing City has chosen to play. We haven't seen these 4 players play together at all tonight.
And I think it is their top choice, at least for now, to defend this 5-man attack. As Kleppel gets by number 6, Yahiro, and Nas from Timblo.
The part that's really interesting about this is the most physical lineup for Lansing City. But when you have somebody like Jonah Timblo getting that ball, he's very nimble on his feet, even for the size that he has. And Alec Noss is proving it just as much as well. Great distribution right there from Jonah Timblo, and fantastic touch from Alec Noss.
Yeah, I was looking down at my stat sheet to try to remember a name that I'd lost, and all of a sudden it's in the back of the net. Alec Noss with the touch, showing his value for Lansing City, that one coming from Timblo. As we were talking about, this lineup for Lansing City specifically being designed to defend.
Yeah, and then they attack.
And then they get the The two bigger players, Tim Blow and Nas, connect for Lansing City's 8th goal.
Yeah, for Tim Blow's size, he's definitely fleet of foot. So he's somebody that always is able to maintain good possession of the ball, especially when there's some physical pressure being put on him.
Now this time Lansing City trying to accelerate the game a little bit more, even with this five-man attacking look for Ginga. And that's something we actually saw Ole do in the final when they were up by, I think it was like 2 or 3, and Midwest started to fly Miguel Cervantes. They really shut it down not by sitting back, by accelerating the game.
Yeah, by being aggressive and cutting off areas of the court. So it's one of the biggest things that they're doing right now in this diamond formation is looking for opportunities to cut off portions of the court, making it harder for Ginga, and really just eliminating players on the court. So it looks like they have a 5-man advantage right now, but when Lansing City stays structured offensively, you're really able to cut off 1 or 2 of those extra players.
And that's really the idea behind being aggressive against the 5-attacker play, as Nas gets whistled for Lansing City's first foul of the half, is not only are you trying to accelerate the game, make them uncomfortable, but you're essentially trying to negate their man advantage, as you're saying, being in the right positions to cut off portions of the court. And at that point, if you're able to do that, then there's no reason not to press because you're no longer down a man.
Yeah, and if you win the ball back in a dangerous position, you have an open shot on goal, like right here.
Right here, Nas and Ahmed. Raymond trying to get back. Nas has defenders closing in on him. He loses it. Good effort there from number 11, Enrico Del Rosario.
And you can tell that's a good moment right there just to talk about that transition from outdoor soccer to futsal. When Alec Nas won that ball, that's a great opportunity when the keeper is flying like that to take an early shot from distance to try to find the back of the net on the open goal.
Ahmed on the ball in to Saltzman, eventually gets it back. He hits the floor. Saltzman collects all the way back to Castaneda. You know, Castaneda, he has not been in the spotlight tonight, but he has definitely made the important saves for Lansing City, and he has been free of mistakes tonight.
Yeah, outside of that one goal that he gave up, he has been really solid. And, you know, he said he was having a good game before that goal went in. But even on that play, he did get a save prior to it. He just wasn't able to maintain possession on the save.
Corner kick upcoming here for Lansing. Actually a little bit closer towards the half line. Ball into Kleppel. He quickly transitions to the far side. Back to him. He's got Tim Blow up top. Tons of space. His left foot strike misses the mark. Ginga quickly into their 5-attacker set. Into the corner. Bugase has a strike. It was going on in Castaneda.
Yeah, solid save right there
Makes
from
the save.
Castaneda just to push it over the goal.
To put it in for Ginga, Messiah Hata. Stealing it is Jack Fisher, but Takabatake has other ideas. Five and a half left on the game clock here inside the arena. A little bit behind the one that you see. Lansing City up by a score of 8-1. Ginga have been playing with 5 attackers with Aaron Raymond in goal for the last 5 minutes. Trying to open this game up, and so far they've only gone backwards. Saltzman and Kleppel in the back. They get it across the halfway mark. Fisher inside, splits 2 defenders. And now inside to Nas. Can he turn? He does. How about that one? Wow. He got that ball after the turn across his body. That's the play as a pivot that's really difficult. Sometimes you can turn, you can use your body to make that turn, but to get it back the other way, impressive play there from Nas. Now here's Raymond. Takabatake in the corner. All the way over to the near side, Hata. Roger Straz up at the point. Hata to Bugase. Castaneda has to step up. He does well. Back to Hata. Castaneda back in position, and that shot goes wide as Kleppel congratulates Castaneda. He was very happy with his defense's performance there, as we see once again that play from Nas to turn and then to bring it right back across his body, and that second touch there to set himself up. That is a very difficult thing to do as a pivot. We haven't seen many
having
players.
The pressure on your back.
Yeah, and there's been few players in the FCS that have been able to do that.
Yeah, one that comes to mind had a pretty strong game tonight, and Fikret Hasovic.
Definitely one of the strongest pivots in the league for Midwest United in their trouncing of Chicago. Ball coming across the net. Castaneda keeps that one from going any further. On the floor for Lansing City for the first time, number 80, Anthony Wetzel. Getting his first FCS action. As Ginga look for a way to gain an advantage here. Anthony Wetzel gets it. Trying to transition and have a counterattack goal, and just ball outran him as Ginga calls their timeout of the half with 3:22, and they're going to draw something up. If you enjoyed the first half and the second half, make sure you tune in to the third half every Thursday at 8 p.m. We'll go on YouTube Live right here on FCS Live YouTube channel. We'll talk about all things that are happening in the league, good and bad, the honest truth and opinions. Join the chat. Let us know what you think. This week on the third half, Gerard, so far 3 matches this weekend out of the 4, and it's been 3
really lopsided games.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say total lopsided because that first one, it was a 2-goal game for much of the game.
Tight. Yeah, it was tight early, but we saw that a lot last season too, where games would be really tight early. Even Midwest played some teams really tight for 5-10 minutes at a time early in the game, but then teams would start to just pull away. And Innovation City has some talent, so in a similar fashion, they're able to stay competitive over a little bit of time, but the longer the game goes on, and especially in futsal in a 40-minute game, that's one of the biggest differences from the tour in Akron, where they had a lot of success. Those are running clocks. We don't see as much time on the ball. You don't see the ball in play as much, and the games go by a lot faster. And so now that they're 40 minutes of stop clock action, we're seeing really like the disparity in talent from some of the teams in the FCS.
So perhaps we'll be taking a look at these 3 matches as Saltzman and Timblow take the ball away, looking for an early attack. That ball goes out of bounds in favor of Lansing City. But perhaps we'll be taking a look at the 3 games and saying, okay, what happened with the 3 teams that got blown out, or what happened with the 3 teams that were the aggressors in that case? Maybe we'll find some patterns.
Yeah, it will be really interesting to see how Chicago House plays Shoreline City tomorrow night, being that we've already seen Shoreline play Midwest. That'll give us at least a good assessment between those 3 teams of how they all relate to one another.
Now Takabatake facing pressure, even though Raymond is all the way up the court. It's a 2v1. Nas and Timblow, and Takabatake,
it feels like,
says, I'll take the pink jersey for the time being. I got to keep him out.
Yeah, it feels like between Nas and Timblow, like each of them wanted the other one to score.
Yeah, they kept looking for the opportunity to beat the goalkeeper by passing. Saltzman kind of locked in that corner now. He's able to get by. Ball to the middle. Nas gets to the end of it, but now Bugase the other way. And dribbles it out of bounds too fast for his own good. Two and a half to go. Kleppel bringing it up the floor. His pass to Timblow interrupted by Straz, but Saltzman, now he gives it away to Bugase. Castaneda comes out but it's not enough. Enrico Del Rosario finds the back of the net for Ginga, and they get number 2.
Yeah, strong effort from Del Rosario right there. Castaneda was in a really good position to make that save.
And he couldn't use his hands. That was the difference. He couldn't use his hands outside the arc.
The way that Del Rosario took that shot, too, he got it around his body because Castaneda was flying out there to put his body on the line.
Well done to find the back of the net in that transition attack for Ginga. Now Drew Barney to Beto Espinal. He gets the peg on Matsushima, but can't get on the other side of it. Here comes Ginga again. Raymond across half as the 5th attacker. Into the corner for Kojima. Now all the way back to Matsushima at the top. Finds Takabatake. Takabatake, toe poke to goal, blocked right at his foot, and it'll be out for a corner. Matsushima goes down on the collision with Kleppel, and he'll put this one back into play. Back and forth passes end up not advancing anywhere for Ginga. On the near side, it was number 6, Tsubasa Yahiro, who was calling for it.
You have to wonder, what were they trying to do with that between Satoru and Shota? They were just passing back and forth. I think Shota was even a little confused what they were trying to do.
Now Lansing City, nice leave there by Saltzman. Espinal turns. Lansing City advance up to the half line. Matsushima facing up Kleppel. It's by Yahiro, but touches it out of bounds. 46 seconds left on the clock. Ball into Bugase. Aaron Raymond is across the half mark. He receives it here. Barney steps up. Espinal with him. Saltzman on the 3rd pass. And the toe poke from Drew Barney. Thought he'd have a go on the open net.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we talked about earlier, just that futsal awareness and understanding of when the goalie's flying, when he's outside of that, you got to open net. Just take the early shot, give yourself a chance, an easy chance on goal.
Foul called against Kleppel. Lansing City's 2nd of the half. Pretty clean half on both sides, only 4 fouls in total. As we go into the final 20 seconds of the match. Bugase. Back to Matsushima, 10 seconds. Does Ginga have one more attack left in them? 7 seconds. Raymond with the turn, finding Yahiro, and he had a chance. Perhaps Castaneda would have gotten there, but he might have been too slow. He sets it down for Kleppel, and the final seconds tick away. Kleppel clears it away, and that brings us to 0-0-0-0 on the clock. Lansing City win 8-2. Interestingly enough, the exact same scoreline that Ginga won last week, and it was a much different story for them today.
Yeah, much different story for Ginga, and really very similar story to Ginga's experience last year. If I'm not mistaken, I think this game last season was either 8 or 9-2. This actual matchup last year.
Yeah, it was similar fashion. Yeah,
very, very similar style of play, even in the games. Everything played out very similar fashion. Ginga tends to be more physical. We saw that early on. The referees did a great job controlling the game and making sure that the players all stayed level-headed and maintained composure, which they did. And then Lansing City showed some really good structure offensively and some really outstanding defensive plays from Jack Fisher, just single-handedly winning the ball and creating opportunities for himself.
You see Ginga here applauding those that made the drive from Cincinnati or perhaps other parts of.
Yeah, they have a big following in Detroit as well.
Yeah, some other parts of the state of Michigan. They thank their fans for coming. And for the Lansing City side, I think you got to be pleased with how this one turned out. You know, not only is the scoreline in your favor, but I think there were pieces, new pieces, that came together, and I think it looked good. I think we saw a lot of positives from Jack Fisher and Drew Barney. I think we have seen growth from them, and we'll see what happens when they play, you know, a team that is a little more futsal talented, a little bit faster than Ginga, and we'll see that when that's really tried and tested. But they look good, and the new players. I mean, Alec Nas, Benny Alishari had good minutes. We also had Beto Espinal, Ali Ahmed.
Yeah, he was
did
really
well.
strong on the ball, too. Like, you could see his skill. And, you know, you talked about him having a legacy and a background in futsal, but he's been away from the game. And I think very much how we'll see Alec Nas grow over time, getting used to futsal. We'll see probably the same thing out of Ali Ahmed as well.
But even Sandro Blanco.
Yeah,
he was on the team last year, but his effect in this game, it's almost like he's a new piece to the team.
Yeah, he definitely played tonight a lot different than any of the minutes that he played last season.
You know, interestingly enough, one of the players that when I looked at the roster for tonight that I said, oh, that might be a tough miss for Lansing City. He wasn't here tonight. Diego Bobadilla.
Oh, you know,
they had him into the lineup.
That. I was also thinking Trezor Crispin.
Oh, yeah, well.
I was like, you know, that's a lot of talent. It's one of the things we talked about with Alec Nas specifically coming in as a strong pivot, whereas Trezor Crispin has typically been that player for Lansing City. So seeing Alec Nas step into that. Yeah. But you're right. Diego Bobadilla, he's been somebody that's really been a fixture on the second line, very much in a similar fashion that Jeremy Kleppel was a fixture on the first line. And so he brings that leadership style, also having played on the U.S. men's national team as well. So not having him here tonight, that was a huge challenge.
I think for Lansing City, when it comes to, you know, last year we saw in the most important games, we saw many players playing a lot. Jeremy Kleppel playing a lot, Jack Fisher and Drew Barney playing a lot, Saranuda playing a lot. And this year, in this game, I think if you're a Lansing City fan, you're encouraged by the ability of the second and even third lines to keep the ball and defend. And, you know, a player like Ali Ahmed, who comes in and he looks very comfortable on the ball, and the physical Ginga side, he's not giving it away. I mean, that was something Lansing City did zero of today, is give away the ball in a bad situation and give up an easy one.
I will say this. We have 1 week, and we get Ole, Lansing City in this same arena. We will see for sure what Lansing City is when Ole comes to town, because they're starting the season off, Ole is next week. And you know they are chomping at the bit to get back onto the court and defend their title in the FCS. They were undefeated last season, and really the test is going to start for them right away, because if they were to lose or drop points or anything, then immediately there's some doubt that's going to creep in. So you know they want to put a strong showing forward next week. And you know, comparing Ginga last week to this week, we had talked about it a little bit with Innovation City and Ginga kind of having that similar vein of just not a lot of futsal experience. And I think Lansing City really exposed that tonight. Yeah.
Lansing City is one of the teams in the FCS that has a lot of futsal experience with their academy players. And they're one of the teams that when you watch, you really feel like you're watching the game of futsal. And it's a really exciting game to watch. And they showed it, displayed it tonight. They took care of business, got the 6-goal victory, winning by 6. And like you said, next week they come back here again with
huge test.
Huge test.
Yeah,
the biggest test.
That is a huge litmus test for Lansing City to really understand all of the work that they've done over the summer. Have they made the strides that they need to take the step forward to be a stronger team, to contend really for the playoffs, because they didn't even make the playoffs last season. And this year we have 6 teams that are going to make the playoffs. If Lansing City is going to make the playoffs, they need to be able to beat teams like Ole.
And that is a wrap-up for our coverage here tonight, but don't miss tomorrow. We have Chicago House taking on Shoreline at 4 p.m. That one will be right here on FCS Live. They're looking to bounce back from a pretty big defeat today against Midwest United. They'll face Shoreline. Thanks so much for tuning in to the broadcast tonight. We hope that you enjoyed it. Jared Kleppel, Gerard Ascani from everyone on the production team. Thank you for tuning in to this match and the other matches today. If you watch them, the last of our triple header. We can take a breath now. Our production team can take a breath now. There were some, I was going to say players, members of our team who were involved in all three. So we'll take a breather, and we'll see you guys tomorrow for more FCS action. Good night. Differ slightly.